This is Jason J. Lewis, the voice of Superman on Justice League Action, and you're listening to the Krypton Report.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's
the Krypton Report.
Welcome to the Krypton Report Podcast, presented by the Southgate Media Group.
The All Things Kryptonian podcast, including Superman and Supergirl.
We discuss games, movies, cartoons, TV shows, and comics.
Krypton Report Pod can be found on Facebook, Twitter, Skype, YouTube, and Instagram.
And if you want to drop us a line, send it to kryptonreportpod@gmail.com.
We are on Patreon under Southgate Media Group.
And our official merch page is tpublic.com. Search Krypton Report.
Now on with the show.
You're listening to the Krypton Report, episode 107. Hey, James.
Hey, Tyler.
Why are you so sad? You should put on a happy face. And that's when the music...
I really should.
Because, did you know...
A little clown makeup.
I thought my life was a tragedy. But really, it's just a comedy. Alright, so that's really creepy. But anyways, so we're going to take a quick detour of the Man of Steel and the Maiden of Might and discuss the Clown Prince of Crime. Because today, as of this recording, the Joker movie teaser trailer dropped. And you know what? It's my podcast. We're going to talk about it because it intrigues me. So, James, how many times have you watched the trailer today?
Probably, let me think, three times, and I've got it starting right now.
How about
so make it 4?
I have done the same. I've watched it 3 times because I actually watched it shortly before this recording. I watched it with Junia because she hadn't watched it yet. And her and I made a little recording discussion about it because she's a huge Joker fan. And I watched it when I was getting the car worked on today. Had to get the tires rotated and aligned. So I just did it all at one time because I can't do alignment myself. And I was like, might as well. And I watched it one other time just chilling because I had nothing else to do. And I will have to say that I'm in. Like, you know, without getting too much into it at the moment, but just the fact that we have a DC movie that doesn't feel like it's carrying the baggage of everything else. You know, even Shazam felt like it was carrying baggage because it references and has like a little call outs to the other DC films. Aquaman, you know, being connected to Justice League, and then Wonder Woman. Like, there's all this baggage on what's DC doing, what's this, and it's like this Joker movie just was like, hey, we're gonna make a Joker movie. Okay, oh, here it is. Oh, snap! Didn't see that coming. And it's refreshing. Like, I'm excited again because I feel like I don't have to worry. Like, I don't have to sit back and be like, oh my gosh, they've done this. And the fact that they've, you know, we saw photos because they were outside filming, but then that's about it. I haven't been following this for 3 years with every piece of nugget of information that comes out. I'm gonna get to go.
Right.
I'm gonna get to go to the theater and enjoy this. But
yeah, well, we've definitely discussed the detriment of the extra long marketing process.
I mean, yeah. It was horrible. I mean, it started No, I take that back. It started 1 month after Man of Steel, right? Man of Steel came out in June, correct?
Yes.
For some reason, I couldn't think if it was May or June. It was June. And
yes, June.
Comic-Con was in July, and that's when they announced the sequel for Man of Steel would have Batman. And I mean, from then on, I mean, it was August that we got Affleck, and then it was shortly after that Gal was casted. And I mean, it just felt like after that moment, there was constantly something, people were talking about it constantly. And it just, as it took, and then in the spring, we got the first photos of them in costumes for Batman and Superman. And we got the sad Batman first. I mean, it was just like everything. So it's just been nice to just kind of be like, you know, nothing.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's real nice to see something that's just being made, being put out there, and it's not getting like, there's not everybody all over it, you know, that they're knocking on everything that DC is doing. And, you know, like I told you earlier, you know, after the BVS reception and all the Justice League drama, I mean, there's no point at this point even stressing over internet trolls and all the clickbait articles for every little piece of news that's, you know, rumor, but it's all breaking news and this and that. You know, it's just nice to be happy when a movie goes into production and finally gets in front of the camera, getting to see one DC film at a time.
Exactly. And I mean, we know that right now this is coming and it's separate, but it's still, you know, our characters, our DC stuff. So, and then at some point we're going to get Wonder Woman and Birds of Prey. We know that those are guarantees. And other than that, that's it. I don't look at anything else. You know, we'll probably get an Aquaman too, but not until it's in front of the camera am I going to stress it. Matt Reeves, the Batman's been talked about forever, so I'm not going to stress it until it actually has a Batman cast and it's in front of camera.
Hopefully in December, like they say. I mean, we hope, but whenever it happens, it happens. I mean, you can kind of assume that a Batman project is guaranteed because Batman has always made Warner Brothers money.
Yeah, you would assume, but who knows anymore? I mean, the Batman properties themselves. So that includes, you know, Joker, who's part of that Batman. People like that world. That's why I think if you don't want to make this DC, you know, really connected world, I think you should just look at making a Bat universe. You know, Batman, Batgirl, the Joker, whatever. Like, there's so many characters.
Yeah, that's definitely an untapped well, honestly.
But what do we know?
They've only done Batman.
We're just the people that pay to go to these things.
Right.
So, whatever.
We only know what we want to watch when it comes out.
Yeah.
Damn expectations or whatever. We know what we want to see.
We want to see. But, okay. So, the trailer. Let's get back into it. It's really creepy, but it's really good. It's really sad. And I like what Joaquin's given me.
Oh, yeah. It kind of, just throughout the trailer, it kind of looks like he's losing all hope and losing sanity as the trailer progresses.
Yeah.
And it's just a teaser trailer. Like, it's a 2 minute and 25 second teaser trailer.
And that's what's crazy is it's that long in a teaser. Because usually, teasers are like, I always think back to the Dark Knight teaser trailer. Do you remember it? Or it was just like the voiceover with like blue flames that just pulled out and it was the bat symbol.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And we all lost our junk over that. So here we are, like, getting this is being called a teaser trailer, and I'm like, this feels more like just a trailer. But
Right.
Whatever you want to label it, I'm cool. You know, like teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Not teaser
If they want to label it, a teaser trailer, you know, Warner Brothers posts it as a teaser trailer. Like, it'd be real interesting to see what they come out with in July at Comic-Con for a full trailer.
Because you know we're going to get something. But, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's 3 months before. That's less than 3 months before it comes out, because it comes out October 4th. So October 4th release date, and Comic-Con is usually the later part of July, the mid to later part.
So here's what's ironic about that, okay? It comes out, you said, and I quote, October 4th. Okay, that's a Friday. That means that they'll have showings on the 3rd, which is Junia's birthday.
Oh, excellent. I know happy birthday, Junia.
Exactly. So we'll be there. And yeah, I can't stress everyone enough to just watch the trailer, make up your mind. Like, my biggest thing is I want it to feel like the Joker. Like, I want to walk out of like, oh, that was the Joker. I don't want to be like, man, that was a really good like Joker impersonation. So
right. Well, this trailer really makes you feel like it's, you know, it's kind of a world where, you know, the Joker from, say, the origin portion of The Killing Joke might come from.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was thinking. When I was doing this, thought was just kind of like, man, it has a very Killing Joke feel. And I'm okay with that. So
there's a part in here where he's at like a comedy club and he gives this little cackle. I'm wondering if that's not the like an early stage before he goes full on.
Oh,
Joker laugh.
Yes. I just got chills. And I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor, and he's already slightly creepy as it is. Okay. And now let's hear what Junia has to say. So we just watched the Joaquin Phoenix Joker trailer, and Junia, your thoughts?
So I'm very interested in this. It's got a completely different vibe, completely different feel than I expected it to. It almost reminds me of Pagliacci.
Oh, and that was one of the faces, like the clown makeup. Like, after I thought about it, it kind of reminded me of.
It reminds me of Pagliacci, hardcore. Like, even the music and the vibe that it has going on, like this deep sadness. I don't know. Like, there's just. I mean, I remember going to see Pagliacci with you, you know, at the opera, and it was just like I had the same feeling just now watching this trailer as I did when I watched Pagliacci with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. But okay, here's my thoughts.
Okay.
First of all, it looks good. Flat out, like,
yes.
When they said Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, okay, the dude is a method actor. I think every actor, for the most part, who's played the Joker has been method in some...
I think you have to be.
Yeah, I do. Excluding Cesar Romero, because he...
That's a different kind of Joker.
Yeah, but I mean, Jack Nicholson,
right.
Leto,
right.
even Cameron Monaghan, that's how you say his name?
Yeah.
Heath Ledger especially. I mean, and this looks like it's going to be a kind of blend of all the Jokers that we've seen. Mm-hmm. And here's my thing. One, I want it to feel and be the Joker. I don't want it to just feel like, oh, this is a clown. Like, you know, and to me, little things like makeup, look is important. You know, like they got the blue on his face and stuff.
Right.
I'm hoping that's not his final Joker appearance and look. Because I'm really. I want it to, like, when I leave, I want it to be like, oh, that was the Joker. You know, I want it to feel like it was the Joker.
I get that, but one of the beautiful things about the Joker is that there's different interpretations. And
right.
Without the context, I don't feel like we can fully understand why the Joker would be in that kind of makeup. You know, there might be a reasoning behind it that when you're done, and maybe that is his end makeup, when you're done watching that, you're going to sit there and say, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, exactly. And this is just like, my thoughts is watching the trailer, preparing, like, to look at it. You know, this is dubbed a teaser trailer. So that's, you know, a little different. The other thing is, crap. So we saw Thomas Wayne on the TV. It'd be kind of neat if that's not current Thomas Wayne. Like, it's a previous recording and it's brought up or something. Because once again, I don't want this huge age gap of looking at, oh, Batman is, what, a 10-year-old boy to a 40-year-old Joker right now? So by the time Batman was even 20, Joker's like, you know, 50. And then you have a 30-year-old Batman, the 60-year-old Joker. Like, then he's just beating up an old man. Like, it's just weird. Like, I want to...
Yeah.
So I want to keep at least that. And I want us to feel for the character, but I don't want to walk out feeling sympathetic for him.
Right.
I want us to see him descend into madness and be like, oh my God, that guy is psychotic. From the beginning, like, we need to like him, but be afraid of him.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to, like, we need to enjoy him, but be creeped out at the same time.
Yes.
And I mean, I think Joaquin's going to deliver.
I really think so too. I mean, he's a fantastic actor, and he delivers on all of his roles. Now, did we see a Bruce Wayne in this just now as a kid?
Okay, so people online are saying that's Bruce Wayne. And I think they cast Bruce Wayne for this, but I can't remember.
It looks like it would be. I mean, he's behind a gate, which looks like a very, very nice gate. He's in a coat that looks like a very nice coat.
Right.
He is an expensive-looking little child.
And so that is one of the things that people are discussing. I do want to say, though, I want to point out that as we're talking about this recording, I am wearing my Joker socks.
Nice.
Yeah, cool, right? And this is just the first, footage, and I'm still like, Todd Phillips is a solid director, but he's always done comedy, and he's done some of my favorite comedies. So for him to like do this, like it makes me excited.
I would say that's even more exciting because he's going to come at it from a different perspective, and maybe that's what we need.
His films include such amazing classics as Old School, The Hangover.
No.
My other thought is, it'd be kind of neat. I'm not holding my breath, but this movie's supposed to not take place like current. It's supposed to be, I think, in the 80s. And then it's rumored that Matt Reeves' upcoming Batman film will take place in the 90s. So this could be a way of starting to introduce the new Joker that will then be with the new Batman.
That'd be cool.
Just because, I mean, we want to see Batman and Joker on screen. And technically, 2008 is the last time that happened.
Right.
And if you think about it, we had Batman and we had Joker in movies, but they were never in a frame together.
Right.
And that...
It was just a tease.
It was just a tease for something that has never come or never will come. So, I'm okay with... I want, not to go on a tangent, but I want the Matt Reeves Batman film to be good. Yes, of course. But I don't want it to be like the new Dark Knight trilogy. I want it to kind of exist in a world where the craziness, it's grounded in reality, but at the same time we have all the villains and we have everything that we really want from a live action Batman. Mm-hmm. But I like the idea that this Joker film's a character study. It's about like a mentally ill person, a person losing his grasp who's trying to do good. but he just snaps.
I like it because it kind of shows us what we've always felt like we've known from the Joker. That he's just like us. Like, we're all on that cusp of just going over the edge, and he just takes it there.
One bad day. So, I mean, it definitely has its Killing Joke vibes.
Yeah.
Especially when we talk about the past part of the Killing Joke. Now, the last thing, while we're talking Joker.
Yeah.
Miss Junia, have you seen the, I would use a word, but I don't want to pre-describe it, picture of what the final Joker looks like on Gotham?
Yes, I have.
And your thoughts?
I don't want to be super harsh on it. And I kind of get what they're going for. Like, he's got that, like, screwed up look from falling into the vat of, you know, chemicals and stuff. But it almost, I mean, he almost just looks like an old man.
He looks like Senator Palpatine from Star Wars Episode 3 banging the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
I mean, it's not what I would want to see in a Joker. And I mean, yeah, he looks creepy.
I mean, the eyes look so fake.
He looks
fake.
Yes, he looks fake. I like your Palpatine reference. That's pretty accurate.
And what kills the hair, like the lack of, pisses me off.
Right.
Because it's like they saw Jared Leto and said, let's do the complete opposite physical look of what he did. And like the picture we've seen, like the coat looks too big, he's scarred up like really bad.
I really don't like the picture that we have.
It makes me mad because, you know why it makes me mad the most? Because the actor is amazing.
Great actor.
He has done an amazing version of the Joker, and he has shown us. Well, when this is done, he will have delivered 3 different interpretations of the character.
Yes.
Because of how Gotham first, he was supposed to be a proto-Joker. Then, like, oh, we're going to actually make him a Joker, but we can't say Joker. Now we're going to make him pretty much look like a Joker, but we still can't say it. And now I guess they can actually say Joker.
But he doesn't even look like the Joker at this point. At this point, he just looks like a melted, old, sad-looking man.
And what kills me is I actually really like the second version.
Yeah.
You know, I like the behavior, mannerisms, and voice of the first.
Yes.
With the look of... So I like Jerome. Right? You know, mixed up. Jerome's look as far as voice, actions, mannerisms. But I like the look of Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And, you know, it has a classic look, but he has the creepy eyes. It's a very clean look, kind of like... You know, instead of doing the smile, it's done more with the makeup and thin. And now we have this third version of the character, which is just, by this point, it's just like, I think performance-wise, it'll be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's a great actor. He's not going to give us anything but.
And it gives us, like I said, it's his third time getting to play a version of this character. And yeah, you're pulling it up right now. See, I love that look. You know, it's not perfect for a Joker, but...
Isn't that Jerome?
No, it's Jeremiah.
Is it?
Yeah, because Jerome got... Jeremiah, we're looking at him long, is right there. That's him right there. Jerome was the one where they cut the face off and he put it back on. He never got green hair and, like, the pale skin.
Yeah.
And, I mean, supposedly... And I say like, there's a good one right there. Scroll back down. Up. One more down. Down. Or up. Whatever. The other direction. There. Up. There. Picture of the 2. Mm-hmm. And supposedly Jeff Johns has a story he's been working on called 3 Jokers. That's been teased for almost 3 years now in the comics, and we'll never know when that comes out. But I kind of wonder if this was kind of their play on that just idea of having the same actor in the story play 3 different versions of the same character.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's an amazing actor. He doesn't get enough credit. But if they had made the first version, just let him be the Joker, it would have been spot on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just like they did 3 Poison Ivies. It doesn't make sense.
Nope.
But, all right, so that's touching on the Joker with my beautiful wife who loves the Joker. So, any final thoughts?
I have high hopes for this. I did not know how I was going to feel about the idea of like a, for lack of a better term, a Joker biopic. But like, this looks like it's actually going to be something that I'm going to really enjoy.
My dad even watched the trailer for it, and he responded, "Looks dark."
That sounds like your dad.
Man, a few words. And can we just like revel in the fact that it comes out in October, our favorite month?
Yes.
And your birth month.
My birth month. Yes. Best time for a Joker movie to come out.
Put on a happy face. And now on with our discussion of Supergirl. Because this episode, it's all about Eve. And when I say Eve, I mean Miss Tessmacher. And if I had the vocal power right now, I would yell Miss Tessmacher. Miss Tessmacher.
I can't wake up my kids.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe I'll go in later and just add it. I'll just be in the basement like, Junia, I'm gonna scream a woman's name. Don't take offense. And she'll be like, what are you talking about? And I'll just be like, Miss Tessmacher.
I'm sure she's heard Miss Tessmacher before.
She'll be like, Tyler, you're stupid. Because I always set stuff up for like it's gonna be something horrible. She's like, what? So she'll be like, Tyler, you're stupid. All right. So this episode was really cool. I really liked this episode. What was your just overall thought on it?
Well, I did same. I really liked this episode. It did a very good job of picking up right where the episode, the story picks up. Or sorry, it picks up right where the story ended from the last episode, where the last episode was kind of just bookended with the Lex story and the Red Daughter story,
Mm-hmm.
as well as Jimmy. And so, yeah, the story picks up with everybody. Lena, Lex is absent, but they are looking for Lex by looking for Eve. The story, picks up with Jimmy, with Alex, the DEO. They even have Ben Lockwood in the episode.
Ben Lockwood.
Right. Not overly prominent in this episode, but he's there, and they kind of get back to the alien amnesty repeal. So kind of getting back into that story. They took a little break with the Elite and then Lex Luthor. So kind of getting back into the season story. Which is cool.
Like, I'm completely down with. And I like how it's all kind of coming around. And that's going to be very prevalent is basically in this episode, it's revealed to everyone's shock but us, the audience, that Lex has been behind everything. Go figure, right? Lex Luthor, greatest criminal mind ever. And he's behind this. And, it's like, not to jump to the end, but, you know, we have James basically be like, oh, I'm fine. Like, you know, it was Manchester Black who shot me, and now he's dead. And he just kind of shakes it off. And then, you know, when he finds out that it was actually, spoilers, it was actually Eve, you know, the orders of Lex, she's the one that shot James. And it's like his whole world crumbles right then. Like, he just
yeah.
He loses.
Well, there's a whole story. Yeah. Well, there's the whole story through this episode. His sister being a trauma doctor and, you know, dealing with psychiatry for people in his position. And like, she brings up that Lex has tried to kill him 8 times in the past to get to Superman, and that he has, you know, basically PTSD when it comes to Lex Luthor and you know, being in harm's way, that Lex Luthor is a trigger for him.
And he shakes it off because in his mind, it was not Lex. You know, it was Manchester. So he's okay. And then as soon as he finds out that it actually was Lex, it's like his whole just everything comes crashing down. And I mean, it's a great character moment for James. You know, James, a character that we love, but we feel like hasn't been getting. It's like they haven't known what to do with him. You know, they made him Guardian. They got rid of Snapper, and which was a horrible casting and just character execution. But they haven't known what to do with James. He's kind of been that character on the side, and they took away Guardian from him this season, and I think it worked. But this is a way of getting back to him and giving him a story. And especially since we're talking about James, he's dealing with some issues with fallout from the Harrenelle.
Yes.
You know, super hearing.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. So it seems like he's dealing with, and it's certainly giving him like a sensory overload. He doesn't know what to do.
And I'm really loving the fact that Clark isn't around. I mean, as for someone who loves Superman, but I love the idea that, you know, Supergirl makes the line in this that it is on her. Like, Clark's not here. Like, or not, she don't say Clark, but her cousin, he's not here. It's all on her. And what is that doing to her?
Right.
And I like that.
And
it's for
it's, you know, one, Superman's not there, but I mean, even if we go farther down, you know, we jump to the end again, Jean is leaving Earth to go put the Martian symbols someplace that somebody worthy can find them. So he's leaving Earth at the time when she needs him.
Right.
She calls him and he's leaving the planet. And so she's all alone now.
And I like that. I like that she's being stripped down. Back to that. I do. Okay. I like that it's kind of this 3 heroes: Alex, Lena, and Supergirl. That's that's it. Now, we'll get into it more in a minute because I really like John's story. But my thing is, hey, how about we give a shout out to your friend? Like, hey, yeah, I need to leave the planet and do something for my people. I know you got some stuff going on. Just want to let you know. You know,
I'm just going to abandon you.
I know there's some stuff going down right now, but I'm not going to tell you anything that's going on, and I'm just going to fly off into space.
Yep. I'm going to tell you anything, not even going to see how you're doing, how anything went. I'm just going to abandon you to your own devices, whatever may come your way.
You know, not that Lex Luthor just escaped and I was helping with that, or
Yeah,
Manchester.
Lex on the line. Yeah.
Supposedly Manchester's dead. But I'm not going to shoot you a text message, okay? I'm just going to fly away in my ship. Can we say, not even like a scene or a dialogue of like, I have this certain amount of time if I want to get there because the position of the planet with the sun, and like he tries to call her and like they miss each other's calls. So at least it seems like he was trying, and like he left her a voicemail or something she didn't get. I don't know. Something where you felt like he put forth the effort. No. You just see him.
Yeah, especially since, I mean, well, he knows everything that's going on. He knows that Lex is gone. He knows that there's this big government issue and a divide among people for aliens. He knows that there's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on, but he knows that they're dealing with a whole lot right now. They're dealing with like the entire planet and a huge divide of the people in the country at the moment. And he just, up and leaves, takes, no. And then throughout the entire series, he's said that Alex and Kara are like daughters to him.
Yeah.
Like, don't even let your surrogate daughters know that you're going to disappear. Like you just up and gone, vanish.
So we'll just crack open John's story some more. So what we get is John, he's dealing with identity, who he is, what he is, and he uses the staff to basically try to summon his father. And it's a great scene of him sitting there with the staff, and there's like a knock at his door, and he gets up all angrily. But when he opens the door, it's his father. And man, was I happy because I didn't see in the credits that he was back. And man, I love these two together.
Yeah, it's very good. They're very good together. When I watched it the first time, and I saw that his dad showed up, and he was there, I was like, what's going on here? Like, I mean, I know his dad's dead. Is this some kind of like, it doesn't seem like it's an out of body experience. And I mean, when it comes to the conclusion of the whole thing, like he's still praying, he's still on his knees, surrounded by the symbols in his meditation. So it is actually like in his head and everything, but they certainly don't play it that way.
Exactly. I mean, just the conversation where he so emotional, like just, crying before his father, and just demanding his father tell him what to do and show him what to do. And I love that he pulls back up and he's asked for a cup of coffee, of Ko-Fa-E.
Yeah.
Which was amazing.
Right. So, I mean, where I was kind of lost with the whole thing, but by the time it wrapped up, it made sense, that he found out, he figured out who he was. What do you say? He figured out who he was, but he didn't know who he wasn't.
Yes.
So he didn't know that he was trying to figure out how he could be himself, the Martian Manhunter, while still trying to promote peace and honor his father, not being a man of peace like his father and not doing anything, but, still working towards peace in his own way.
And, he has a great scene where he says, or he just starts breaking down. about Father, our whole culture, everything. I'm the last green Martian. We're going to lose. I can't lose the symbols. I can't do this because we're going to lose, and it's just something, it's just his acting is so awesome when he does that. I mean,
he's pretty powerful when he, David Harewood is definitely pretty powerful when it comes to, that deep emotional sense of loss that could be, or that he has. Like he really expresses it very well and very strongly, certainly.
I mean, I could watch a whole show of me and my dad starring these two. Now
I would not be opposed to a Martian Manhunter show.
The other thing, I agree, is if I could just get the new Dr. Silas Stone on an episode as John Jones's brother, I will lose my mind.
Malafa'ak.
Oh, dude, if he did that, dude, like if he showed up and he was Malafa'ak, and like it was during a scene where John is having visions and talking with his father, I just need all three of them on the screen together. That's all. That's it. Like that's what I need.
Yeah, I mean that's like 3 generations of Martian Manhunter right there.
Exactly. But John decides to return the stones to Mars, and that hopefully one day someone is worthy will find them, which would be really cool if it comes back around and it's McGann and kind of her idea of transforming herself from being a white Martian into becoming I guess you could call it a well-rounded Martian, just a better version of herself.
Right. I've had a small bit of disappointment there where she was only in it for such a short time.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome to bring McGann back, especially in a female-led superhero show.
Exactly.
Bringing up another.
I get really sad when they bring in these characters, and
2 Martians effects. Obviously, that would cost a pretty penny. So maybe if John leaves in a season or 2, maybe they can get McGann so we still have a Martian.
I agree. But it's like they bring in these Martian characters and everything, and then they're gone. Not Martian characters, but these big characters like McGann, and then they just disappear, and you're like, You're like, okay. Just like, my other beef. This is kind of a side tangent real quick, but my other biggest beef is you have these heroes that cross over with each other, help each other out when they're in distress, right? And you're having a situation on Flash where Cicada's knife weakens all metahumans. Well, wouldn't that be a great time to just call Kara, who would just show up? She's not a metahuman. His knife wouldn't work. And boom, punch him in the face. He's down. Cicada is defeated because Cicada has no power over an alien. And then Kara goes back. And, that's that.
Yeah. Well, as it is in comics too, they're there to help in certain storylines, and in other stories, you can't always just call the more powerful person to come and take care of your problem for you.
I know. James, don't take all my fun.
I know I'm stealing the crossovers because Barry and Kara's crossovers have been excellent.
And hopefully after
from
next season,
the world's finest to the musical and so on.
Next season, after Infinite Crisis, when everybody's on one Earth, it'll be nice. But I digress. So that's that's John's story. He eventually admits that he is the Martian Manhunter, and that he is who he is, and he's at peace with who he is, and that's when he decides to take the symbols. Thus, he's flying off into space as Kara needs him.
Yeah. So go back to the main thread with Eve, because Eve kind of ties the entire show together beyond John. Kara, Lena, and Alex are all looking for Eve because, for whatever reason, I don't know why, we open up at L Corp with Lena tied unconscious in a chair, and the DEO shows up. But they show up and they make sure she's fine, get her to a hospital, and they get a letter that states, what Lex is up to, that Eve has been a spy for him this whole time. Possibly that Otis is involved, because we get some information on Otis this episode as well. But so they're searching for Eve, trying to find Lex. Eve is connected to the Red Daughter, who has a serious moment in this episode. It says she is the person who shot Jimmy. They find the gun in her laboratory, which at the lab they discover Metallo, another Metallo, and that also ties to Otis.
Which looked awesome.
So is Otis a Metallo now?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering, are they saving that? But dude, that Metallo looked amazing.
Right. So, and then, even with her tied to the Red Daughter, and what she does when she breaks into tunnels into the White House and destroys the Oval Office or whatever and kills some people with her heat vision, all there to frame Kara for violently retaliating about the Alien Amnesty Act being repealed.
Okay, so pause real quick right there. We're going to jump in, okay?
I say I threw a lot on the table. Jump in anywhere you want.
We're going to jump in at the White House because we get this set up at the White House. So I want to talk about this. Ben Lockwood's there with his son. James is there. James is going as the press to cover it. Now, James is talking to Lockwood and brings up Lex. Lockwood doesn't know that he has connections to Lex Luthor. That he's starting to, I think, unravel some things in this episode about how he got where he is and how things occurred. One being the senator decides to change her vote to repeal after first she told Lockwood she was going to vote for the repeal. Then she changed her mind. Now she's voting to have the repeal done. And James, confronts him. Now, when Red Daughter shows up and starts killing people, the first person that James saves, he grabs Lockwood's son and pushes him out of the room. Okay? But then James goes down because of the hearing. Now, if you paid attention, Red Daughter says something. I can't remember what she says, but it's in the Russian accent, and Lockwood picks up on it. So I think he's going to be a very conflicted character, and that's kind of where his story is going to go, where he's going to know. I think he is a man of truth in the sense, because even the hate that he spilled has kind of come from a personal point of truth, that he wants to win and wants aliens taken care of, but not to be tricked into it.
Right. Yeah, I did notice when she said something, she very noticeably still had her Russian accent. When we know that in the last episode, House of L, when she spoke to Alex, and when she went to Lena and at Catco and stuff, that she could easily do an American accent.
Mm-hmm. So I just think, what do you call it? I think that's going to help play into where the story goes. And
right. Do we wonder if there's going to be any redemption for Agent Liberty at all? I don't know.
Redemption, I don't know either, but maybe a sense of like
certainly separating himself from a terrorist.
Yeah,
like Lex.
I think he still has an arc to play, and we'll see how that plays out. And
right,
that's really kind of so that's where Lockwood is in this. And like I've told you before, I really like Lockwood as a character. I think we talk about it like every episode, how much we not agree with him, but just as a it's easy to have a character like who's pure evil and be like, oh yeah, kill that character, blah blah blah. I get it, but having a character like, okay, I can see where you're coming from, and
right, it's still even being somewhat of a sympathetic villain.
Yeah, because then you're like, oh, that makes it even worse because
he, even though he's done some radical stuff, I mean, maybe he shouldn't have gone to the place he has, but his beliefs are justified, but his radical actions aren't.
All right. Okay. So that brings us back, continuing with Kara. Now, I'm going to jump in here and pick up where you left off, okay? While Red Daughter is blowing everybody away, the real Kara had tracked down Eve in the vicinity and confronts what she thinks is Eve, but Eve was using a projector and basically launches the Lex suit at Kara, and Kara is imprisoned inside the Lex suit, which is powered by kryptonite. So she's in the Lex suit up against a wall being harassed by kryptonite.
Yeah, basically watching from a distance as the Red Daughter's heat vision is tearing through the White House.
And then she sees her fly out and stares at her as Red Daughter flies away. Now, that pretty much sums it up. But some of the highlights is, I think the biggest highlight for this episode is when Kara Supergirl, I got to be careful how I word this. Supergirl steps off her high horse and apologizes to Lena when she learns that Lena was able to make her own Harrenel. And the two have a moment of forgiveness and starting over, and let's be bygones, which is great until Lena finds out Kara's Supergirl and it all goes to hell. And
that's bound to happen.
Oh, if she doesn't find out the end of this season, I'll be very frustrated.
Well, I just hope that it doesn't go to hell. You know what I mean? If it comes to that.
It's not what I want to happen.
Well, it's easy. It's a trope, Does it have to take place? No, I don't think so.
I would be okay with just doing something where You know, she's upset, she's angry, and then she rationalizes and understands, and they just kind of try to move forward together. But we'll see. We'll see where they take it, what they want to do with it.
Yeah, it's hard to have the support system around you that doesn't know who you are. Like they've had to, like, Alex hasn't been as prominent since she's had her her memories of Kara being Supergirl erased. She hasn't been as prominent because she's not as involved with Supergirl, you know. But Lena is more involved with Supergirl now. Like, does she? And she's also still a friend of Kara's. So it's like, if she's going to be that support system on both sides, are those two identities going to come to a head?
Which would be really cool to see play out. So we had that emotionally powerful scene, and it was great. And we know John Cryer was signed on to do 3 episodes as Lex, and he wasn't in this one, so we get another what do you call it? We're going to get another episode of Lex, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think.
Yes, John Cryer has been an excellent Lex Luthor. Completely evil, total mastermind, and like almost always in control of the situation and the people around him. Like, he is definitely a master manipulator and a master maneuver. You know, he can easily make people do and be what he wants them to be. So,
anybody we forgot? I think we
we just touched on the lab and the Otis and the Metallo thing. The only other person we didn't
found out that once Lex was cured, she was able to take some of that and gave it to her cousin, who has twins, and it cured her of her cancer. And her cousin has super strength. So I'm really waiting for more of this. People are having powers now to come into play. And please don't take the hair and nail cure and make it like a airborne and dispense it over the city. So that now that's how we have many humans or something. Because they never really use that term on Supergirl. Because it's always like alien.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw that, we hear that Eve cured her cousin, because Lena did remember her talking about a cousin she had that had cancer. And, that was it was a good scene. And I was kind of waiting for a Hackensack, New Jersey reference. Were you?
Oh, really? Was it? I didn't catch that.
No, I was waiting for one, because when they're
okay.
And I was like, nope, didn't give me one. So I was kind of bummed. But that pretty much sums up all about Eve, which is kind of funny because she wasn't in the episode that much. I kind of expected her to be like, almost like it was a whole episode that kind of moved back through time from her perspective and kind of really let us in on what she had been up to. But no, that's not what we got. But any other closing thoughts?
No. Good episode. One other closing thought. The frame job of Supergirl, the president announces her as public enemy number 1.
Yeah. So
and Haley and Alex believe that was not her. So,
which is great because at the end, when Alex does pull and uses Jimmy's signal watch, that goes back to where I was saying, like, it's now the trinity of Alex, Supergirl, and Lena. Because they're like, we know it wasn't you. We know you didn't do it. But I was thinking now it's going to be like, is this Supergirl public enemies? Which would be a really cool, like, story if, like, they had Batwoman, you know? So it's like, Batwoman, Supergirl, public enemies. And
yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
Which would still be kind of cool to do. Maybe, you know, when we get everybody on one Earth. So it'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
All right. Well, what would you rate this episode? Because I have my episode rating ready.
You know, I mean, pretty strong, everything tied together nice. I'd give it an 8.5.
Dang, man, you're reading my mind. I agree.
The last few have been pretty close, huh? Or are right on.
They've been really good episodes and really strong. And I'm just like excited for the last, I think, 5 episodes we have. I think that's where we're at.
I think so. This was 17, so we should be getting 22.
Yep, 5 episodes. Man, I'm good.
So I have to go back a little ways, but the next Supergirl episode we get is on what, the 21st?
Yes, it is. Which is always slightly annoying when we have these unforeseen breaks. You know, you're just like, oh, I did not know that you were going to do a break. Like, what?
Right.
Why are we doing this break?
Well, I mean, you want to talk about breaks? I mean, what about Gotham? They had like a 2-week break, then they came back, brought 1 episode, and then it's going to be off for like 4 weeks before the final 2 episodes.
Dude, don't get me started, okay?
That's annoying.
Because first of all, they made Bane a loser again. It's like they made like discount Tom Hardy. And when I mean discount, we're not talking like, you know, going from like Montgomery Ward's, JCPenney's to Walmart. We're talking like going from, you know, JCPenney's down to, the Dollar Tree.
You know, and that's even messed up to say when this Bane is like super powered, you know, like Tom Hardy's Bane was just raw power. You know, he couldn't feel pain and he was raw power. But this one, he's like super powered. I mean, he pretty much has venom running through his veins, and he's bulletproof with his steampunk outfit.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I will take Jeep Swenson over this Bane.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. The episode, it was filler, and it was like a total ripoff of The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, and Al Ghul trying to finish her father's work, trying to destroy Gotham. Bane is her subordinate, and, you know, instead of being the badass character that he is, you know, he's just
a lackey.
He's a lackey again, which is messed up.
Look up in the sky.
Look up in the sky.
Look up in the sky. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Krypton Report. You can also email us at kryptonreportpod@gmail.com.
If you get a chance to go over to iTunes, please leave us a review to help us get better.
If you're an Amazon shopper, just remember you can go to southgatemediagroup.com. There's a portal, log into Amazon, and you'll shop into your account just regular, but it also helps keep all the podcasts on and helps keep Southgate running. Remember, look up in the sky.